October 1st, and I'd like to call this meeting of the Brookfield Board of Selectmen to order. Please join me and stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Want to tell everybody who you are? Would you tell everybody who you are?
Oh, I am Phoebe Holmes, the newly
A
elected.
need in the northeast portion of town.
Okay.
Additionally, our fire, police, and EMS have all reported to this board that the service they get there is not good. And they need cell service for a lot of the things they do now.
Thank you for
Does that make
clarifying
sense?
that for me.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
That's it?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nadezhda Nikеев, 16 Obtuse Rocks. Hi, everybody. Same, very much against the tower still, and I think even for the need, I personally think more tests should be done, because most people we speak to, they have some coverage, and I'm concerned about the wildlife in the area. There is plenty of wildlife and possibly eagle nests even, and those could be affected by the waves from the tower. And I also have questions about the balloon test. If it was tangled and it would be redone, then how do we find out when it's going to be redone? And also, also want to know more about the test itself. Where do we go? How long is the string, for example? Is it the same as the tower? Is there account for the winds or anything else? Like, where can we learn more about this test so we know what we're looking at in terms of where the tower would be? So that's basically it. But the last time actually there's a petition going on. So if anybody's listening on YouTube, if you haven't signed it, please find it and sign it. I've seen over 200 people sign the petition against the tower, and obviously 200 people cannot be here, but I'm sure they wish they were. So a lot of people are against the tower in this town, and we're a very small town. 200 people is already a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Pam Hughes, Muirwood Court. And I just want everybody to know, after that balloon test, it is a direct sight out of my driveway. Totally visible and totally disturbing. But besides that, I know there's an issue with concerns about cancers and other things with the cell towers. I have information that I would like to hand out to you tonight to read, which our own Senator Blumenthal has talked about in the past. So I don't feel like everybody should be very dismissive when we are concerned about our health, besides our environment and our home values that are going to drastically change, which we're going to have a reassessment next year, and rumors out there that our homes are going to depreciate 20%. And the rest of the town is going to make up for the difference from our home values being decreased because of a cell tower. I feel like you as a board need to step it up and get a little more proactive and help us to try to stop this. This is not a place for a cell tower to be directly dropped into a neighborhood. It's just wrong. Zoning has to do something, the state has to do something. It's not fair to anybody that is in that area to have a cell tower that we don't know if it's going to harm us. And there's a lot of cancer on our street before the cell tower has even come. I need you all to consider that and take that into consideration. And I have a little bit of paperwork for you all to read about. Thank you.
Thank you. Take your time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Mitch Connor, Muirwood Court. I'd like to first make you aware of a petition that had started about a couple months ago. It started very slowly. A lot of people don't even know this is going on. I talked to more and more people today. I'd say 50% do not. So if I may, I'd like to present each of you with this. You can look it up online. It's exactly this and nothing more. But this has 203 signatures on it today, and it's growing every day. So these people are vehemently against this. This is in my backyard. The balloon test was huge. We don't know how high this balloon was. There was no stats. We don't know how long the rope was. We don't know how they conducted the test. Where's the information? None. Zero. I would like to see this. Second of all, regarding taxes. Okay, my street alone pays $99,000 a year in taxes. You take a 20% haircut, that's $20,000. How many houses are affected by this? How big is this? Has a assessment been done, an impact study, or even a risk analysis? I doubt that. I seriously doubt that. But it should be done, and the taxpayers of Brookfield should know. I think it will be probably advertised to them that if this goes through, they're going to pay maybe up to $2,000 or more a year per household. So that's the rough assessment I have. I don't like it one bit. There's other technologies that can be done. This is the cheap and easy way out. It's the cheapest way out. There's microcell technology. If you know RF, you know that this can be done in the northwest corner, can be served. We don't have to go to this extreme. This should be ended.
Thank you. That's it? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I know we've had this discussion a number of times before, but I thought it might be worthwhile to reiterate. The state legislature created the siting council. And when they created the siting council, they took all control away from every single town. All control. We cannot object based on health and safety. We cannot object based on aesthetics. We cannot object based on house values going down. They have literally carved towns out from any ability to fight a cell tower. This was one of the original reasons we said, if Homeland comes in and they can prove the need, which they can, they have the records to show they can prove the need, try to put it behind the high school, 1,800 feet from the high school, 800 feet from any residence. That was vehemently opposed. There were about 300 people at the hearing for that. Only one was in favor of the cell tower. So no one's in favor of cell towers. But where the power lies is in the state legislature and in the governor to make changes to the law, because our hands are tied. Now, we're going to advocate for our residents. There's no doubt about it. We're going to do that. We're going to continue to do that. I have concerns from people who said that the balloon wasn't up high enough because halfway through it got caught up on branches with the rope, which pulled it down. When I went over and looked at it at 11, Bob, you went and saw it, right?
I saw it early, though.
Bob saw it earlier, and he said you could see it from driving into the condominium association. When I drove in at 11:15 to the condominium association, you could not see the balloon. I could not see
So
it.
it's a flawed test.
So it's a flawed test. So we're going to go back to them and say, you didn't do this right. We know you didn't do this right. And we have pictures.
You asked them to give us details of
Yeah.
how long, just basics?
Yeah, we will go after them and say, you got to give us all this information. We legally can't have a back and forth. If you want to come up and make another comment, you're more than welcome to. But the process doesn't allow us to have a back and forth. But you're welcome to come up again. Please.
So one of the very big issues we have all had, and I can probably speak for everybody in this room, everybody was unaware. We were not told. There was nothing out to us except for like a day before about the balloon test. We were told we were not allowed to go onto the property because it was private property.
It is private.
We were told through the rumors that because there was no opposition, neighbors not fighting it, and they weren't standing at the driveway and protesting in the whole 9 yards, that they were going to go through with it because nobody in Brookfield cares that the cell tower is going up. That is a lie. And I sent you an email over that.
Yeah, I didn't hear that from anyone except people against that. So I didn't hear, Homeland hasn't sent us a single thing saying that. So that is a
I
rumor.
was told by somebody supposedly that was there during the testing cycle that it was said at the balloon test.
By who?
I was told somebody that did, like, maybe it was Saratoga. I don't know who.
Yeah.
That's what I was
We don't either.
told.
We haven't gotten
I
anything
was not
official.
there. I got a
Right.
text from somebody. Basically, she stated that because there was no opposition, they were going to move forward because nobody in town cares.
Yeah, opposition doesn't matter in this case, believe
First
it or
off,
not.
there was a policeman at the end of the driveway. Like, who's
Yes.
gonna go do something? Like, that's ridiculous.
They asked for the policeman, we provided
That
it,
is
they paid
totally
for it.
ridiculous.
I know, people can get pretty, are you upset about this?
I'm upset, but I'm not gonna like go do anything to the man.
Yeah.
I mean-
I know, we all like to believe that, but a year ago, somebody threatened to bomb my house by a dress with my wife in it. So
Okay,
these
well,
things
I'm
do
sorry
happen.
that
So
happened.
to have a police officer there is a good idea. When I went there, the police officer told me, contrary to what other people have told me, what you've told me, they're saying that nobody showed up, nobody looked at it. That's not true. The police officer told me by 11:15, at least 40 or 50 people had been
And that's
by
what he told me
that
because
time.
I stopped and I asked him. I took
I
a
did
picture
too.
of him and I said, "Are you kidding me? Are you really here?
Right.
Like, really?" And I said, "Have a lot of people been walking through?" He said, "Yes, walkers, bikers, the whole 9 yards."
Yep.
I live on Muirwood. People were coming down. There were cars all morning while I was there, and then I left. My husband was outside working all day on the yard. It was a beautiful day out until the wind
Yeah,
came.
there were a couple of neighbors there when I was in front of Mitch's house looking.
My
I
other
didn't see
neighbor
you.
was there too. And yes, you came down and you
came
were
down.
down, and I know you talked to one of my neighbors. She was
Right.
putting out her Christmas lights, and you basically said you couldn't see it at your house. Okay, good. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not gonna,
Oh,
affect
no,
you.
no, that's true. But also at that point in time, I think it had gotten caught up in the trees by then.
It was down. It was
That's
because
my
I went to the
opinion.
high
You don't know
school and
that
I
for a
could
fact?
not see it, and it was at
So we're gonna go
11:20.
back to Homeland and tell them this. One, we understand that the line got caught up in trees and brought it down because what Bob saw and what I saw were very different things, right? It was much taller when Bob saw it than when I saw it at 11:15, 11:20. He could see it from the drive into the condominiums. I could not see it from when I drove into the
Very obvious
condominiums.
there and in Muirwood.
I can
Yeah,
show you
Muir-
a picture.
Muirwood
I
is
have
different.
it.
barely
And in different
see
places
it.
on Hidden Brook.
Yeah.
But my issue is this, though. Nobody knows what's happening. That's where I have an issue. There's nothing anywhere. Like, we can only do so much. We need you guys. This is your job and why we pay you to do it. We need you to put it out there for our community to know that there's a cell tower going down in a beautiful neighborhood.
We did do that. Homeland is only required.
When did you do it? It didn't go
About
out.
a week and a
soon.
half before they put it up?
I don't
Wait a
think
minute.
so.
Hold on. Ma'am, I sent the mailer out myself. Homeland Towers is required to
Hold on, let's
notify-
back up. The
Wait a minute, just stop
mailer?
1 second.
Wait, what
You
mailer?
said something, let me address that. Homeland is only required to send notifications to abutters. That's about 8 people. We sent it to everyone within, how many feet?
This is
About?
Steve,
I'm sorry?
we're having too much of a discussion.
Yeah, we're having too much of a discussion.
Okay,
you're right.
well, I
But we
just
did.
would wish that
I
you
will say-
could
I
help
will
us.
say, just to clarify, you're talking about the informational meeting that happened in the summer.
Yes.
Right, that we sent
Yeah.
a notice out, not on the balloon test. You were reacting to the balloon test.
Right.
So I think and to be fair to the town did post it on both social media and on the town website.
I did see it on social media. I'm not on social media, so somebody did send it to me, and yes, I know you posted it, but it seemed like it wasn't, like, you didn't give people enough time. And it went in the patch. I saw it on the patch too, and it was
Posted
only
it
like
the same
2
day we
days.
received notice of it.
That we posted as
I
soon as
feel
we-
like we need a little more notice here.
Yep.
Like, we need to be more aware of what's happening.
I
Thank
agree.
you. Sorry.
Okay. Shall we move on? Presentations, there are none this month. Monthly agenda items, announcements. Coffee to the Community will be December 20th at the New Brickfield Market and Deli at 277 Wisconsin Road. Please stop by and have coffee with the Selectmen. Also sign up for Spotlight and Everbridge emergency notification at brookfieldct.gov. There are vacancies on our boards and commissions. Building Code of Appeals, 1 member. Community Center Ad Hoc Committee, 1 member. Commission on Aging, 1 member and 1 alternate. Energy Advisory Board, they're looking for 1 member. Inland Wetlands Commission, they're looking for 1 member and 1 alternate. Municipal Building Committee, they're looking for 1 member and 1 alternate. The Police Commission, they're looking for 1 alternate member. The Still River Greenway Ad Hoc Committee, they're looking for 1 member. The WPCA is looking for 2 alternate members. The Youth Commission is looking for 3 alternate members, and the Zoning Board of Appeals is looking for 2 alternate members. Then we move on to our financial update by our Director of Finance. Marcia?
All right, the financial reports were attached. You have the revenue report. We're in good shape with revenue. Right now, we're projecting that we'd be about 200,000 over budget, more revenue than what we had expected. 2 reasons for that. One is just a timing difference between one of the grants. We got it this year instead of last year. And interest has been higher than what we had projected. The rates remained higher for longer than what we had projected. Any questions on the revenue report?
Look good.
No, very good.
The expenditure report, we're in good shape. That what we normally do is try to wait and every quarter do budget adjustments that just to try and not have things moving all the time. So the next time will be the next meeting. We'll be asking for budget adjustments. We have meetings with the department heads next week to find out more insight about what they need. And the reason we do budget adjustments is it's over a year after these budgets have been developed. Things change, but we need to do the adjustments for our budgetary controls. They can't put a purchase order in if they don't have money in the budget. So that'll be next month. Any question on the budget to actual for expenditures?
Do you see any departments where we might have concerns yet? I didn't see any.
The only thing that we have is we had projected that we would need to use some of the money from contingency to cover the increase in the public works salary. We never put an increase in the actual line item during budget time because the negotiations weren't done yet.
Right.
And so we had put money in there, and that should cover the transfer that we'll need next month. There's a few that are higher or lower, that, but nothing that's of great significance at this time.
Great, thank you.
Number 3 is the capital non-recurring fund. It's got a pink highlight at the top. And that's just the capital items that are paid for in cash. We are in good shape on those items. That, again, we don't expect any large changes one way or the other. Number 4 is the bonded capital that and again, that we're in good shape, that we don't expect any big changes one way or the other on that. Any questions on either of the 2 capital reports?
I don't. Carl? Anything? No?
All right. Number 5 is the town grant fund. That that's money that comes in and goes out. We don't book receivables until the year end, so some will show as a negative balance. It's just because we haven't gotten the cash yet. The revenue is on a cash basis until the end of the year. But again, we don't expect any issues on that. Number 6 is the police outside services. That's a fund where they'll come periodically and ask to spend some money. It's from when there's a police officer hired by Eversource or somebody to do private duty. And there's an ordinance that relates to this, or at least a policy that relates to this. And so that just shows where they stand. And right now, there's 275,000 that is unallocated in that fund. If they were to come to you for money, that would be what they could spend. Any question on any of the reports?
No, we should just note that we did just receive a grant to complete the streetscape Phase 4, which runs from Four Corners up to Newberry Village on the west side of the street. We've tried for this grant 3 times. 4th time was a charm. It's $769,000, so we're going to design that and hopefully start construction next summer, if all goes well and we don't find any very rare saw-cut grasses. Was it saw-cut grasses that held up the project? So that's a good thing. Okay. Next on our,
Thank you, Mark.
so any questions, Carl? Nope. Bob, you're good with all
Okay,
those
this is
reports?
great.
Thank you,
I
Marcia.
love reports that don't have any issues.
Yeah.
Yes?
There are no new real items except for that grant we discussed. On the cell tower, we've had a discussion. We're going to continue to advocate for our residents on the cell tower. We do ask that people pay attention to the town website and our social media. Right now, Homeland Tower has not communicated with us in any way, shape, or form as to what they did with the balloon test, whether it was correct, whether it's, we're asking them, hey, how high was this balloon? Did it get caught up in the trees? We have reports that it was. We haven't gotten anything back from them. As soon as we do, we'll obviously report that back to the town.
Steve,
Yeah.
do we know when it's going to the siting council?
No, no.
They haven't scheduled it?
And we find out the day that they file. They
Okay.
send it to us FedEx the same day that they file, and they never tell towns when they're doing that. I don't know why, but they don't. On the Iroquois gas compressor, the town has joined the lawsuit with Save Our Sound and other organizations. We did file suit against DEEP for what we believe was a breach of their own rules. DEEP has come back and said they're having an informational hearing where you can get information about it. That is not what we're looking for. We're looking for an adjudicatory hearing where we can press our case, where we say you did not follow your own rules. Tom, do you have any update on that further? Because Tom is handling this for the town in conjunction with Save Our Sound.
Yeah, there's no further update at this time. The appeal was filed last month, and there's nothing new at this point. It's got to take its time in the courts.
Okay, we're waiting for the courts to come back to us. Okay, great. Okay, consent agenda. I would make a motion that the selectmen approve items A through E on the consent agenda, which are comprised of the selectmen approval for routine matters, which is 2025 Tree City USA annual application to recertify Brookfield as a Tree City member. We want to do that. Board of Selectmen meeting minutes for 11/3, 11/12, and 11/22. Driveway bond releases for 19 Hillendale, 29 Huckleberry, 76 Riverford, 37 Greenall, 13 Falls Drive, 9 Parker Hill, 11 Bonnie Road, 9 Apache, 48 Merwin Brook Drive, 56 Mist Hill, 44 Mist Hill, 53 Mist Hill, a lot of Mist Hills, 44 Hidden Brook Drive. There were no excavation bond releases, and for employee changes, new hires are Michael Pileggi, who is a full-time driver and laborer, and Woodrow Banco, full-time driver laborer. Michael was joined us as of 10/20, and Woodrow joined us as 11/12. Departures are Stephen Yerzinski, full-time driver laborer, who left us on 11/11/25. Do I have a second to approve the consent agenda?
Second?
Any discussion on it? Concerns, issues?
Nope.
No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries 3-0. The next point, appointments. For the Energy Advisory Board, I would make a motion that the Board of Selectmen appoint Maurizio Ponzetto, unaffiliated, as a member of the Energy Advisory Board with a term of 12/1/25 to 2/1/27. Do I have a second?
Second.
Bob seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carries 3-0. For Planning and Zoning Commission, I would make a motion that the Board of Selectmen appoint Mark Lowenkart, Democrat, as an alternate member of the Planning and Zoning Commission with a term of 12/1/25 to 2/4/30. And that let's do them one at a time. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Second, Bob seconds. Any discussion? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carries 3-0. Again, for Planning and Zoning Commission, I would make a motion that the Board of Selectmen appoint Dionisio Danny Fontana, who's a Republican, as an alternate member of the Planning and Zoning Commission with a term of 12/1/25 to 2/1/28. Do I have a second on that?
Second?
Carl seconds. Any discussion?
Just one clarifying point.
Yeah.
There are 3 alternates on this, just for everybody, planning and zoning's a new board,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
So
right.
all of the old alternates got, their terms ended when the old board, the planning board and the zoning board ended. We
Yeah.
actually purposely did that. So this is 2 of the 3. We'll still have a 3rd one we will probably appoint in our February appointments.
Right.
So that'll show up as an opportunity for people to apply for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
But
so-
they needed some alternates
Yeah,
to
they
get
did.
going, I
Yeah.
think. And
Right.
both of these are existing members or alternates.
Yes.
Right.
So-
Okay.
So-
So we have a motion, we had a second by Carl. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carries 3-0. For the Youth Commission, I would make the motion that the Board of Selectmen appoint Ernesto Davila, unaffiliated, as an alternate member of the Youth Commission with the term of 12/1/25 to 2/7/28. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ooh, 2 seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries 3-0. I will accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Aye, quick and painless.
Oh, that went pretty quick.